folks, how's it going? It's me, Poonslayer 3000. I'm sorry, I couldn't get through that intro proper. But you know who it is. It's your favorite brown person, Nav Walia, and I'm coming at you with another episode of Quarter Life Chit Chat, your favorite podcast hosted by none other than your favorite immigrant brown boy. How's it going, folks? Y'all having a great time? First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to episode 3, Quarter Life Crisis. I received a lot of messages from a lot of you, and almost every single one of you have loved the episode, and I'm very, very thankful for all the support I'm getting. Thank you very much, truly. The vibe for the last episode was a bit of a mellow one. I wanted to create something that is motivational because, along with our 20s being a complete fucking train ride to hell, our 20s are also a time for us to grow, and our 20s are also a time in our life where a lot of motivational things happen, where a lot of motivational decisions are made, where a lot of motivational advice is given. And I wanted episode 3 to be something that chimes in on that part of our 20s. The episode today, however, is a bit of a different one. Today, let's just say my vibe is a little different. You know, before recording this, I took a trip to Colombia and I partook in their favorite export. It's a white powder, usually known as sugar. Nothing else. Nothing else, people. Just sugar. I'm joking. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. I don't do drugs. I'm a good, clean, wholesome, pure boy. On today's episode, I have a special guest. A recurring guest, might I add. It is my boy, Terry, back once again to chat the fun stuff and the rough ride he's had in his mid-20s. Yo, Terry, how's it going, man?
You suck!
How's it going, Terry?
I'm so tired, bro. I haven't slept
Dude,
yet.
you're tired? I'm tired. I'm tired of life. What are you tired of?
Yeah. School and life, actually, both. All of them.
Oh, I can't, bro. I can't relate, man. I'm trying to go back into school, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't recommend it. To any of our listeners chiming in.
Terry, I have you again back on this episode. Back on this podcast, sorry. Because people loved you, man. I have so many messages from my friends, you know, some listeners, and they loved you. They loved what you had to say. And, you know, as I told a lot of the people that messaged me, the episode I recorded with Terry, episode 2, there was a lot of technical error with that one. Long story short, we recorded an episode and it was like about an hour and 10 minutes long. And roughly, it was going to shorten down to about hour 5. And it was an amazing episode. We had great chats, great laughs. But due to technical error, a lot of our audio got corrupted. And I had to edit a lot of the chats out. And it came out a little underwhelming. But considering the fact that even though it wasn't what we imagined, even though the episode wasn't all that we talked about, it received so much grace and it received so much positive reviews that I just knew I gotta have my favorite boy, Terry, back.
I appreciate you having me back. I don't know why I'm back, and it's surprising to hear that people loved me because I was just sad the whole time. Well, the second part. The first part we were just fucking trolling. But
yeah,
second part...
We ended up trolling a little too long, if I'm being honest.
We'll do like 25% trolling, and as per Nav's request, 75% sad boy. So, who's ready to cry? Who's ready to cry this episode?
So why don't we pick up from where we originally left off? You know, you talked about the girl that you're still a little bit...
Not a little bit.
Sort of.
Not sort of.
Not sort of. Okay, so let's just...
Not a little bit, like full on.
Okay, so
full on 100%.
That you're full on 100% in love with.
Dude, I'm just really good at hiding it. But if you want to know about what's going on with this girl, Sophia, if you are chiming in, that's the girl I was talking about last episode, last time I was here on the podcast. We talked for 5 months, texting all the time. When she was done the semester, we hung out a lot in person. I told her my feelings like about 4 months ago now. Told her back in January. She said she didn't feel the same. And honestly, it took me by surprise because I thought she felt the same way about me. Because I don't know, we were hanging out a lot, we were texting a lot, we were talking a lot, and I thought the feeling was mutual, but apparently it wasn't. It sucked. She told me it's like, I hate doing this, I hate having to do this to you, but unfortunately I don't feel the same. You should find someone who's as passionate as you are. Blah 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 blah. I interpreted that as, hey, I can't match the energy you're giving because I'm still dealing with my previous shit, which is true. And I was ready for that. I was patient about it, and then it's like, okay, I'm catching feelings, but I know she's dealing with some shit. So if she needs time to get over that, to be able to focus on me, I can do that. I can be here. We could just chill. Doesn't have to be like
you're waiting to take
right?
a shot.
Sorry,
you're waiting to take a shot.
Oh yeah,
I said you're pretty
exactly.
much waiting to take it. Okay,
Yeah.
fair,
Waiting for her to be ready because I don't want to like rush her. I don't want to like whatever, right? So I thought that was happening. But no, she was like, she just said, I hope you find someone as passionate as you are. I think you're a great guy. I love hanging out with you. All this stuff, blah 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 blah. And then boom, is like, it sucks. It sucked. It sucked for like a month, I think. I don't even know. I didn't last very long. Take that out of context, please. I didn't last very long because
guys, quick to the draw, eh?
Yeah. My reaction time super quick, 0.01 ms. Anyway, I think we went after I confessed my feelings. I think we agreed on like spending some time apart so I can get over my shit. But I was like, I don't like being away from her because I was like, hey, spend a lot of time with her. I consider her now one of my close friends. And if not, even though, shit might not work out, like romantically, which is, of course, still 1000% fucky sucky, I like being around her. I like her presence and I like hearing from her and all that shit. So I think maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all it took. And then I be like, hey, I want to talk to you again. I want to be friends again. Let's make it work. I went into this thinking like, okay, I'm going to guess she's going to be single for a while. And I'm probably going to be single for a while because, I'll need to get over the shit with her. At the time, I was guessing that she was still getting over her shit. But I thought wrong. You know why? Because I think like 2 months later, she started being cold. If I didn't initiate conversation, I would not hear from her. And I just don't think that's fair because... Yeah,
that's gotta suck, man. I'm not gonna lie.
With Sophie, it was like, if I don't initiate text, I don't hear from her.
Okay. So Sophia became cold, eh?
Yeah, Sophia became cold. So I'm gonna leave her some space and see if she reaches out to me. For 4 days, she doesn't. Doesn't reach out to me for 4 days. It sucks. And then I reach out, but she was quick to respond. And she was like, things got busy. She was handling some shit. And by the time she noticed that I wasn't messaging her, I had already messaged her. Which is, I don't know if I believe or not, really, at this point. And then the third time I saw messaging her was when she told me she was seeing someone. I didn't.
So she was seeing. How long was she seeing someone for, man?
How long was she seeing someone? She told me like back in March. I don't know how long she's been seeing someone, but
and you guys have taken a break for how long till she was seeing someone?
Took a break like 3 weeks, I think, 2-3 weeks in January.
So 3
like
weeks.
Beginning of January, I confessed my feelings to her like January 2nd. We didn't talk for like 3 weeks until like maybe beginning of February.
Okay.
We started talking again in February, yeah.
And then when you find out she's someone?
And then no, she told me like in March, like beginning of March.
Ooh, okay, so pretty much, so your overlap kind of adds up. Like, I'm saying, like, the time where you took the break till the time where she declared she's seeing someone, I'm saying the space, you guys parting ways and her seeing someone, there's a kind of an overlap.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. That hurts.
It does. Yeah. Because
no,
I
mean, if you get your heart rejected and you're giving somebody space and you find out that she's seeing somebody
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah,
kind of a bummer, man.
that's awful, bro.
Earlier in the intro, where I was sort of implying that you may be in love,
Yeah.
but you confirmed that you are.
It
How much
sucks.
are you still in love? Like, are you
How-
actually in love? Are you think you're in love? What are we talking?
I'm like, it's like between like I'm still holding out hope because I'm stupid, or fucked in the head,
Right.
and not wanting to feel anything
You know,
about her. Like I don't want to like,
like you want
it's like,
complete.
I don't
you
want
either
any
want
more.
her back or you
Yeah.
want nothing about it. Right?
Yeah, I
That's what
don't
you're
want
saying?
any more. I don't want any more romantic. It's in between. I don't want any more romantic feelings from her. I don't want to feel this way anymore. Or I want to like keep that hope in case she comes back, because I found out that she was supposed to break up with the guy she was seeing,
Okay.
and then when I stopped talking to her for a week, she leaned towards the guy because she
Okay.
claims that she was having problems with me because I didn't talk to her for a week.
The fuck?
When
What?
yeah, it doesn't make sense when the
Yeah, that's a
easiest
little-
solution was
Do you-
like to talk to me, right? Like that doesn't
Right,
make
yeah.
sense. And it's like it's like apparently because this guy was not it.
Mm-hmm.
She was about to break up with him, but she leaned into him because she was having problems with me, and she had no one to lean on to talk to about me. So she, went to the guy, and now they're like, it's crazy to think that they're like together for 3 months now, and at like last week, that got into my head, and it sucked. It was like, it sucked a lot. And it didn't help that I felt it. I felt that way after four doubles of Jack. It did not help that.
Do you think that because you were having issues with her and she was planning on breaking up with that guy,
Yeah.
and because you took up space, she went back? Do you think there's a chance that she kind of is one of the people that like needs somebody around? Like,
Yeah.
Like for example, like do you think she's maybe afraid of like loneliness, so she needs somebody around? She's like, oh, I have Terry and everything's good. I want to break up with this guy because he doesn't. Let's say he doesn't treat her right. But
Yeah.
when you weren't around, that was the only boat she had left. So
Yes.
hopped on? Do you
That's
think
exactly what happened. Because when we were talking, she said that she's had trouble with friends and how her friends weren't really treating her right, and
Right.
I worked really hard not to be like her friends, and it wasn't that hard to begin with because it might be narcissistic to say, but I think I'm a pretty good friend. I think I'm one of the best friends you'll ever have, because if you show me that you care about me, you have my life 100% till the end, until you betray me.
Okay.
Then it's fuck you.
That's-
And so it wasn't like the story she tells me about how her friends have treated her in the past, and I'm like, I am so far away from how I treat you versus how they treat you, so you never have to worry about that. I put myself out there a lot, and it just feels like I'm not really getting anything back, or like I realized I wasn't getting anything back because it was always up to me when we would hang out. It was always up to me. I always initiated. Like I realized over time, it's
Let me
always
ask you
me.
something.
It's always me having to ask, and it's just I got tired of it.
Let me ask you something. First of all, I mean, it sucks. It sucks when you're the main person in a friendship, right? Like you're the one putting in a lot of effort. Been there, done that. My question to you is this, okay? Let's say, okay. First of all, do you think it's fair to say that you have been treated poorly in you guys' dynamic, or like you weren't considered an equal, or your feelings weren't respected, regardless, except the her not having the same feelings as you? But do you think outside of that, do you think you've been disrespected and your feelings have not been mutually accepted and respected? Yes or no?
If there's any disrespect, it's me towards myself.
Oh, okay.
But it's because I didn't notice these things sooner.
Okay. So you didn't
but
notice the patterns, eh? Like
I didn't notice, like, I feel like I
the
was
selfishness
like, yeah, I wasn't like giving a lot of self-respect to me.
to yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I was taking a lot of disrespect. It just seems like I feel like an afterthought. And I told her this. I sent her this whole letter,
Like a
and
love letter?
no, like a letter, like saying goodbye, where it's like,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
we need, like, right now, I don't think I can be friends with you because I still
Uh-huh.
really like you, and
Right.
knowing that you're seeing someone shattered my heart to a million pieces, and I just can't. And it's hard for me to be friends with you when I still have feelings for you. And I thought I could get over it while being friends with you, but it didn't help knowing that you're seeing someone else. Because, yeah, I was under the impression that if we were both single and if we're both just going to be friends, then I could eventually get over her and just be friends. Because that worked.
In the
Yeah,
past?
that worked in the past,
Okay.
for sure. I told her it was like a whole letter, and I was like super honest. It's like the realest shit I ever wrote, and it wasn't even lyrics. It wasn't even rap lyrics. It wasn't even for a song. It's the realest shit I wrote. It's not even for lyrics, but I might turn it into a song at some point. Because
Fair.
I said some fire shit. Not gonna lie.
A,
And
s- a song, an ode to a heartbreak. I mean,
yeah,
a
yeah. I
heartbreak's
mean,
usually one of the great motivators and one of the great muses to an
yeah,
artist. So I
yeah.
support that.
Yeah, it's
But
like that. Yeah, that's the
here's
direction my music's going into right now. I need
no,
to
I
get
mean,
this
fair
sad boy
enough.
shit out of my
Uh,
system
it
before I'm
was it was Sam
confident.
Smith, dude. Do you know Sam
Yeah,
Smith? Sam
yeah,
Smith,
dude, love that
he won
guy.
a Grammy because he wrote an album and he said in his acceptance speech, he said, "I shout out to my ex boyfriend breaking my heart because it got me a Grammy." Who
Shout out
knows?
Sam Smith.
Maybe your album wins a Grammy too. But let me ask you
Hey,
this, okay?
yeah.
You guys are not friends anymore, or currently, right?
Currently not friends. Open to being friends again in the future.
Okay. Would you now, considering you still are
Right now,
very much in love with this woman, yes?
yeah.
Would you now be able to have a friendship? Or do you think because you still have feelings, knowing that she still does not want you romantically, it's better to just part ways? Or do you think it'll be too much of a torture if you try to make it work?
If she wasn't dating, for sure we'll be open.
Oh,
Because I don't want to be friends with her knowing that she's still with the guy that
with somebody
she
else?
chose over me. You know what I
No, I
mean?
understand that.
And I
I
don't want to
understand
like
that.
I don't want to hear about this guy that I lost to. I don't want to hear about this guy that she picked over me. It's up to me to approach the friendship differently. And if we were ever to be friends again, I need to like set some boundaries. And like, oh my my 17-year-old self is gonna cringe at me because he has no problem following boundaries. He just hates the word because I didn't know much about boundaries until like I've learned people who taught me what boundaries are. And
Okay.
whenever I would step on other people's boundaries that I didn't know, it always made me feel like a villain
Right.
because but like I didn't know these boundaries. I didn't know they existed. I'm sorry that I stepped on it. I won't do it again, but please don't make me out to be this evil guy who's out to step on your boundaries intentionally. And so ever since then I've had like a bad view of the word boundaries. But you know, I've met people who have taught me the real kind of boundaries and what it's all about. So
I understand that.
yeah.
I
So
wish I could speak much on the aspect of boundaries, but you know the way I grew
yeah.
up and my mentality, I think relationships are the strongest, or the friendships are often the deepest, the ones that have the lowest amount of boundaries, and the boundaries
Facts.
that there are is by case, and I think that's one of the reasons like you and I get along so well because like there obviously there's some boundaries, like for example I have some boundaries with my friends which is like, hey, don't make a lot of certain types of jokes, or
Yeah.
hey, don't speak about certain types of things. And I think those are case by case. I don't apply that with everybody, but I
Oh,
think
true.
because I have a lot less boundaries, it gives me room to be vulnerable with people, and it gives me more room to talk about deeper chats, right? Like imagine if you had
Facts.
boundaries about 1,000 topics, right? There's
We
only
can't talk about shit.
yeah, we can't talk a lot about shit, right?
Yeah.
And I think relationship that have boundaries are healthy. Don't I'm not saying that ones without boundaries are toxic or unhealthy,
Oh yeah.
but I think in my experience, the ones with boundaries often end up feeling like a shallow one, you know, because if you want to ask a person, they're like, no, I don't want to get into that. It's like, okay, we can move on to a different topic. But I think
Yeah.
if you're going to be friends for a longer time and like as time progresses, it is natural to know more about that person, delve into deeper about that person.
For sure.
Yeah, that's my take, man.
Cool. I think if we to answer or reiterate my answer to your question is, if we were to be friends again, I need to set some boundaries where and be like, hey, in the past, it's always been me who's initiated. This just needs to be an equal amount of effort. Can't
Yes,
just be me
you want
always
equal effort.
constantly bugging you. Because if I'm having to initiate it, then we're back in square one. So there's no improvement.
No,
But
I
anyway,
understand.
that's a
That's
topic.
that. But let me
That's
ask you
for
this,
now.
okay?
Yeah.
Moving on to something
Sure.
similar.
Sure.
It's fair to say you're a little heartbroken, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are your friends taking that, man? Like, is it impacting your other friendships, or are you like a bit more distant, or
It
not so
it
much?
has it has impacted my friendships quite a bit. At first, they were always there for me, of course. But I think I've noticed that I've been feeling this way for way too long for their taste. Where it's like someone started pointing out that I'm getting hung up on this girl for far too long.
What do
And
they mean by that? Like usually, have you had a lot of breakups in the past, or
not
heartbreaks where
breakups
you recover?
where like I
Just
get
heartbreaks?
rejected. Dude, you remember Tessa who
Been
lives in your city?
Yes,
Yeah. Could not get
yes.
over Tessa for like fucking 2 years, bro. That's an exaggeration. But
Fair. I mean, yeah, I remember those stories. Yes,
it
yes.
took a long time, right, for me to get
Yeah,
over
yeah.
Tessa completely.
Right.
And I think they were starting to notice that I might be doing a Tessa part two with Sophia.
Okay.
So one of my friends was like, "Hey man, you've changed. You're getting hung up on this girl for way too long, and it's
Right.
just not you, you know?" And it's like whenever you hop on VC, I always hear you say, I'm gonna go cry later," and that doesn't feel good for me. Like when I hear you say that, I don't feel good because
Yeah, it sucks, man.
I don't like seeing you that way. And then my other friend said that like you can be sad about it, you can be sad about rejection, but being sad on it for too long becomes a problem. You need to learn how to bounce back
Yeah.
quickly
How do you
because
feel
you're
about that?
I think if it's 2 years, yes, you have the right to tell me I'm getting hung up on a girl for way too long. It's
Okay.
only been like 3 months, dog. Come on, man.
Right.
Cut me
Right.
some
Yeah. No.
slack.
Fair. I mean,
I think I was getting to that point where I was like about to be in love with this girl.
this is yeah.
But like, imagine 5 months talking to someone, all of a sudden gone. Like, wouldn't you feel devastated? I don't think I can bounce back as quick as my friends want me to, and that's not to like disrespect my friends, or that's not like to say I'm not listening to whatever they're saying or I'm not following
Right.
their advice. Like, believe me, I am. Like, I'm trying 100%
You know.
to, and it's like sometimes I feel like whatever I'm feeling is being treated like a common cold, and they're the medicine to the common cold, and it
So
just
they're
doesn't work
giving.
that
So
way.
they're pretty much just saying that do as or try to do as we say because they may have the wisdom, the knowledge to help you through.
I do believe they have the wisdom and knowledge about everything that ever have a problem with in life because they're smart, wonderful
Okay.
people. I just think that it sucks to hear that one of my friends said that he doesn't feel like I'm listening to them because they were like, they told me what to do already. They told me about, how to bounce back and shit, and they feel like I'm not listening to them because if I was listening to them, I wouldn't be feeling this way. And it's just like, honestly, healing is not linear. There are days
No,
where
it's
I'd feel
not.
pretty
No.
good, but other days I'd get like really down about it. And that's also another thing they pointed out where it's like I they said that I let my feelings about Sophia get me down the whole day. And it's like sometimes I
Yeah, I
don't have
mean,
a
like I
choice.
think you're.
Sometimes I don't have a choice. It's
Yeah,
like
that
it's
I feel
like
that, and
I yeah.
when you're explaining that, man, like I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not sure if you were able to hear me, but
Yeah.
I genuinely had a deep audible sigh, and because
Yeah.
on one side, I understand, I've had
Yeah.
my loved ones, like my besties,
Yeah.
go through a rough time, and I know for one of them it took quite a while, and
Yeah.
in my culture, there's a saying, and the saying is, and I firmly believe in this, is that two hearts never break the same. I think we were talking about this a couple days back, and I even told you
I
then.
think we were, yeah.
I think, yeah, it is fair that you got your heart broken, but I also think that she as well lost something. Right now, I'm not Like, she could be the one for you, and you weren't the one for her. Who knows? But I think you should not look at it in the sense that, as many people do when they experience a breakup, which is, look at me, I lost a lot, or look at me, I'm the one who got dealt a shitty hand. Where that's not necessarily have to be true, because she also doesn't have you now. It is not to say she didn't value your time at all. Because if you are to believe to yourself that she did not value anything that you brought to the table, and that she lost nothing and you lost everything, then by that logic, you're also accepting the fact that you are not a memorable enough of a person, right? Because if you were memorable and you were a good person, a great person, a worthy person, for example, losing you in any shape or form would be impactful to some degree, right?
Yeah.
And I think many people, and I know we were talking about this a couple of days ago, many people do end up falling in a trap like that, which is like, fuck, she broke my heart and I feel heartbroken. Or even like the guy broke my heart, I lost everything. That person is probably just chilling, having a time of their life. It's like, to an extent, yeah. But believing that they're chilling and they lost nothing is a very toxic to yourself. And I think in a way you're just putting yourself down further. There's a very famous saying that my aunt taught me when I was younger. It follows up on two hearts never break the same. It is that the same heart doesn't always have to break the same. And what I mean by that is, let's say, in past, Tessa took you 2 years to get over, right? As you said.
I think collectively.
And collectively took two years to get over.
I don't think it was 2 years straight, but collectively, for
collectively,
sure. It was on and off.
On and off. It took 2 years to get over.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean that Sophia is going to require 2 years to get over either.
I don't think so.
But that also doesn't mean that, like, it is not in your willpower, and it is not like you to, like, feel down, right? It's like, maybe during Tessa's time you were more upbeat, and Sophia, you were different, because you can't paint everybody with the same brush. Everybody that you meet, you're not going to have the same exact feelings, to the same depth of feelings. So I hope your friends also see that. I think it's unfair that you have to hear that, like, hey, it's not like you to be hung up on a girl too long, because you're trying to get past it, you're trying to heal. It's just sometimes some breakups or some relationships or friendships ending, they hit harder, or they hit in a different way than others.
They do,
right? I hope your friends also see that. Your heart's broken, but you can't tell how it's gonna break, and you can't tell how it's supposed to heal. And like, it sucks when emotions from one friendship or relationship spill over to another. But it's something that you're trying to manage, and I think you should just focus on the fact that you're just trying to heal. And shit, you might be more depressed than usual, or it might not be in your character. But you're doing your best,
Yeah. I just I know for a fact, I know my friends are tired of hearing it, so I don't bring it up ever, really. I kind of just deal with it on my own. And
no, man, you should reach out to people. Are you bottling your feelings up at all?
No, because talking to my friend Amy about it. Shout out Amy. I'll definitely get into Amy more in a future episode. But no, Amy's been listening a lot. Yeah, and she's never tired of it. Okay. And I appreciate her for it, because she's honestly the only person I can turn to about this.
That's so rude. Brother, I'm here.
well, other than you, what do you think I'm talking to you about it? What do you think? Fair. Why do you think you're here?
My bad. But let me ask you the last question on this topic, okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
In my past, obviously, like I said, like, girls come, girls go. But in my past, there have been some girls that have left a mark, and I like to see it as, I'm not saying they took me long time to get over. I'm not saying it didn't. I'm a person who lives in their memories. Time to time, I think about them. Time to time, I think about the time we had. I think each one of those girls, they taught me a lesson, and they changed me in a certain way. What lesson do you think Sophia have taught you?
What lesson?
Like, let's say you guys are partying. This is it. Like, you're never going to talk to Sophia again. It's clear to say that she's going to be one of the girls that goes down in the history books of Terry, right? For sure. What is the lesson that you take away from this?
A lesson I take away is, I think the next time I do talk to a girl, I need to not go in as like I'm gonna be friends with her in hopes to date her, but just be friends with her and see what happens next. And I gotta have a clear distinction between platonic and romantic, because I think lines were blurred with Sophia, where I thought this was like a mutual romantic thing, but to her it was just friends. And not to say that like I went into Sophia like wanting to date her. I just like, okay, I think she's really cool, I think she's smart, and I think she's mega fucking pretty. I want to be close to this person. You know what I mean? I just feel very drawn to her, and she just happened to be really fucking gorgeous. So but I think the lesson is to learn to distinguish platonic from romantic.
And it's great that you say that, having a distinction, because it's a perfect segue to the next topic, which is situationship. I think our current generation.
What is that?
What is situationship? Get the
dude,
fuck
I'm
out,
like,
Harry.
dude, I'm too old. I'm too old for that shit. It's like these.
You're not old.
It's these 13, 15-year-olds getting to like situation.
No,
dude,
13. First of all, why do you know what 13, 15-year-olds are doing? Okay,
I know, like, dude. Okay. I was talking. I was with Amy at a party, and then Amy was talking to this girl who was like 19. And she was in a situationship. I was like, dude, I'm too old for this shit. Like, what the fuck is a situationship?
You're telling me you actually don't know what a situationship is?
Dude, I was like, I've asked it many times to other people that have explained it to me what it is. I kind of get it.
Situationship is pretty much when you like a person, but your boundaries in terms of whether you're friends or more are blurry, and you don't want to you don't want to progress to the next part of your relationship, such as friends, to like where we like each other, and you kind of want to have your options open. So imagine a way of openly and mutually crushing and having feelings for someone without confiding and having a commitment play a role as a way to keep your options open. Some people do it in terms because they're like, I don't want to get hurt. Some people do it as they have like a fear of commitment. Some people do it just because they want something super casual, right? So you would describe, like, if you or somebody was in a situationship, it's sort of like having a relationship where you're open to seeing other people, but you treat the person as a girlfriend while telling everybody that y'all are friends, and you never put a label. That's kind of how it is. It's just shit's so fucking confusing. It's a perfect dynamic for people that are afraid to get hurt in a relationship and that are afraid of commitment issues, and fear of pain or fear of heartbreak.
Well, I hate whatever the fuck you just described. Fuck situationships. If any of you listening are in a situationships, fuck all of you. Commit or not. If you get into a situationship, I will slap your pee-pee so hard.
Okay. Do it. I like that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, commit, bro. Whoever's listening, you're in a situationship, fucking commit or don't.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I just want to say, whoever's in a situationship, fucking commit.
Fucking commit, or I will come to your house and punch you in the face.
I know where you live. Assault you.
Dude, I'm not even. You don't understand how I hate this fucking word that has spawned out of nowhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I don't give a fuck. My thing with situationships, man, like, live your life, do you? You love somebody, you have feelings for somebody, but you're too afraid to commit, man. You get one life. Live your best. Just treat that person with respect and have respect for yourself in the process.
And then eventually grow some balls and commit to that fucking person. Doesn't matter what you are. You can be a guy, girl, non-binary. Grow some fucking balls and commit to that person.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Okay, speaking of, like, I guess that situationships, how about we go back to friendships? We're still in the ships. So okay, I had this weird question that I don't know if it will apply to anyone else that I know, or maybe one of the listeners. This will apply to you. So I have this friend who I consider a best friend, and lately it just feels like my role in her life is being filled by someone else. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, for example, you and I, right? Best friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you hang out.
Hold on, press pause. Wait,
okay.
You and I are best friends?
If you want.
Oh my god!
If you want, right? If
Dude,
you
hey,
want,
you
then
know
I'm down.
what? Why we gotta stop at best friends, man? Let's just make it
Yeah.
lovers.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not, you know? At least it's not a
Lovers is best friends with
situationship we're
sex, isn't it?
committing. Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. As long as it's not a situationship, I'm down. Anyway,
Nah, bro,
say,
commit 100%.
yeah, exactly. Commit 100%. Full send it. Anyway, for example, you and I, best friends, and then all of a sudden you meet someone, right? And then you start doing the things with that someone, with the things that you used to do with me. Does that make sense?
So she's doing activities that you all used to do with somebody else.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example. It's going to be a very specific example. And
English
if
is
this
not your
person-
first language, is it?
Sorry?
English is not your first
No,
language.
it is. What are you talking about?
Okay, nothing.
I'm just like my brain can't keep up with my mouth. So so I'll have like I'm like 10 thoughts ahead, but my words can't articulate it.
You
So I'm
heard
like
it here,
kind of behind.
folks. You
Yeah.
heard it here, folks. Terry's mouth moves a lot. Take that however you wish.
Slower. My brain moves faster than my mouth. That's what I'm saying. You know, so I'll be like 10 thoughts ahead, but my mouth's still like on the first thought. So anyway,
Yeah, first base. Anyways,
yeah, first
continue.
base. Anyway, example. So this person, we're supposed to play a game. It's a co-op game. We're supposed to play it together. We're supposed to complete it together. She would tell other people, for example, like Amy, that we were playing this game and we're gonna complete it together. Then all of a sudden, like 2 months ago, I found out that she had completed this co-op game with someone else when we were supposed to complete it. And we used to play this other multiplayer game a lot. I was like offering to teach her and trying to help her improve on the game, but she would not. She did not want to learn from me, and instead learned with that person, with that other person that completed.
Is the other person a guy or a girl?
Guy? If this is a girl, I don't give a fuck, right?
But, hold on, man. My question
Bro.
is this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
why the fuck is your life have more competition with other men than there's competition among men in like fucking Olympics? What's
I know.
with you
I know,
and competing
dude.
with random men with every female friend? Like, I don't. What is happening with you, man?
Dude, all
Is
these men that I'm like indirectly competing with, put them in a fucking room with them. They're gonna knock the fuck out.
I like.
I
Okay,
don't give a
man.
fuck.
I love listening to you. I really do, because I compare it with my life, and I can't say I have that issue at all.
Good.
And
I
then I
hope it
hear
stays
your
that
thing.
way. I hope it stays that way with you.
Nah, fuck that noise. Nah, man, I need some drama in my life. Okay, I hope.
You do not want the smoke. You don't want the smoke.
I just
you don't want the smoke.
No, man. Listen. Shout out to my main bitch. You know who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I fucking wish you had another guy friend that would compete me, but it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, dude.
I know.
When that
she knows,
What-
but she knows. There's no one better than Dav. It's just pure facts.
I agree, and I think no one's better than Terry, but apparently someone's better than Terry,
Yeah,
and I
it's
don't
me.
believe that for a second. Like this
It's
guy is not
definitely
better than me, and it's not narcissistic,
am.
egotistical shit. It's just facts.
That's also
It's
it.
just facts. Like
I
name
don't know.
one thing that he can do better than me.
Create a podcast.
Tell me, I'll wait.
podcast.
I get. Yeah, he could probably
But,
make a better.
Look,
yeah, whatever. Anyway,
jokes aside, I have
back
not
to the
been.
back to the. Yeah.
Yeah, back to the point. I've not been replaced. I don't think I've ever felt like I've been replaced. I have
Thank
definitely
God.
been in a situation. I've definitely been in a position where I miss doing certain activities with my friends. I have been in a situation where they started doing it with others, but I know they made time, and I would ask like, this was used to be our thing. Why not? And I think, and I'll give this advice to anybody and any listener that is, or anybody that is listening right now to this point. I just want to say, confront them, address it, because there's a saying, it is when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I think you should not assume that you're being replaced, even though I fully understand it feels like that. I think the reality could be many different. Like, she sees you as a homie. You're a friend. You're a friend in need, friend indeed.
Yeah.
The other person
That's
could
fine.
just be the love of her life. And
No, apparently this person is her little brother. It's like, oh, this person's like a little brother to me.
Okay, hold on, press pause. This is a controversial topic, and listeners, this
Say
is a
it.
topic I'll
Say
be
it.
getting into the next episode of Core Life
Say it.
Chit Chat, which is being friends with opposite sex in our mid-20s. Does it work? Could it work? That's
Looking forward
a
to that
topic
episode.
I'm going to be covering on the next episode. But
I have some
for
thoughts.
now, My thing is, in our generation, there's a lot of heat is, can men and women be friends? Can women be friends with men? Like all that jazz. My thing is,
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger issue
Yeah.
if somebody in mid-20s is being friends with another person of mid-20s, opposite sex, and
Yeah.
referring to them as little brother. I think that's worse
Facts.
than
Facts.
than the
I
current
agree.
notion of can men and women be friends.
Dude, it just adds more layers. Stupid. Fuck that shit.
I don't know if I want to be known as some girl's little brother. I think in your situation, it might just be one of those things where she met somebody, a new brother, I guess, in this situation, and she's having a good time chatting with him. I think that's probably most likely what it is. I don't think you should assume or feel like you're being replaced, but I think your feelings are justified, and I think you should address them, and I think you should confront her and ask.
Yeah. Oh, no. You're totally right. That is something I need to bring up to. Well, in directly in regards to like being replaced and the whole little brother thing. But I did talk to her about how it's like, hey, I feel like you and I barely talk. I feel like ever since you were done with your school thing, I haven't heard from you a lot. I swear we used to talk way more in the summer, and lately it just feels like I haven't heard from you at all. And I just feel like you're very distant from me, and I don't like feeling this way. So I think something needs to be fixed. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that I'm neglecting our friendship. I wasn't my intention to do that. I'll be better about it. I'll commit to more stupid texts and stupid memes.
I don't want to be that guy, man, but I'm seeing a pattern that I don't know if I like. It's you and you trying to be friends with women. And I feel like you're just not, it's just not going that
I
great.
know. Dude, if I had a choice, I wouldn't be. But no. The advice that I'm trying to follow is just be friends with the girls, and then if there's a spark, then you'll know, and then you can commit. But I feel like I've been unconsciously doing that, because otherwise I wouldn't have as many girl space friends, But I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like maybe here's a suggestion. Might I?
Yes,
How about we take some time
please.
off from women? Period.
Dude, down.
do you feel about that?
I told her, dude. I said, you know Sophia.
Yeah.
I wasn't like initially.
Interesting.
I was like, dude, no, not even that. Like, I was done. Like, before I met Sophia, I declared that I was done, taking a break from women, retiring for now. I'm going to focus on music. I'm going to focus on other things. I told this to Bridget. And I was like, hey, Bridget, I'm done with women. Fuck this. I'm retiring. I'm done, right? Like, I'm just going to focus on music. I'm perfectly happy where I am. I finally moved on from Tessa. This is good,
Yeah.
Done. I'm like, no more talking to women for now. Or maybe ever. I'm retired. I'm gonna focus on the boys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the boys. I'm gonna focus on my, brotherhood.
Focus
with
on
them.
boys. Okay, fair.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna like focus on music because I've been really missing music and I haven't been able to write a lot during the summer. And I just want to focus on hone my craft and play more video games. And she was like, no, don't give up. And then she's like, okay, give it one more try, one last shot. And she said and the deal breaker was like, okay, if the next girl you like happens to be a lesbian, which has happened before, I will let you retire. Okay? I will let you retire. Okay? However, if this doesn't work out because she just simply, didn't like you or you got rejected or something, then I'm not going to let you give up. However, if this girl is a lesbian, you can give up for sure. I understand. No problem.
Dude,
that's just pure fucking bad luck. And then, and then I was like, okay, one more shot. Okay, Bridget, I'm going to listen to you. One more shot. I meet Sophia. You know what happens with Sophia? Whatever the fuck we just talked about for the past hour.
Shout out to Sophia. You got my boy Terry out here tweaking in his feels and like having a long ass chat with me. I respect it.
Sophia, let's just let's fucking talk, bro. Let's sort
He's throwing Sophia. Let's just throw fucking hands, girl.
dude, let's sort the shit out. Leave that man, and then we can be friends again.
Baby,
I'm not even
won't
kidding.
you come my way?
My way.
Shorty, I got something to say. Anyways, Cherry,
Yeah.
you know I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, brother.
I want to thank you for coming on to Quarter Life Chit Chat
You're very welcome.
one more time. You know, recording another episode of me. You're
Thank you for
my
having
most
me.
recurring guest. My second guest as well, along with my first. Cherry, tell the listeners where they can find you.
So if you have Spotify, look up Terry Red Herring, like the fish, one word, Terry, and then Red Herring on Spotify. I have a new album out, The Other Side, with my boy, Kaz. If you want solo stuff, you can listen to Forbidden. That's my latest solo project. 8 songs, straight from the heart. Working on the next solo album this year.
And
Just look
lastly,
up Terry Red Herring.
it is me, your cute boy, your favorite brown boy, your favorite brown immigrant boy, Nav Walia. And thank you for listening to another episode of Quarter Life Chit Chat. I'll be back again next week for some more shenanigans and probably some more weird topics that haunt our 20s. Take care, much love, hasta la vista, baby.